Previously on Twin Portals.
2 months have passed in Waterdeep since our heroes returned from the depths of the Xanathar's lair. Zay, Scoot, and Ilka have parted ways since the loss of their dear companion Lark Wavesilver. Zay disappeared mysteriously into the Fae in the company of the rescued unicorn Lyrian. Scoot remained at the Short Rest Tavern, working with friends and family to keep the establishment prosperous, all the while paying extra attention to a well-polished urn on the mantle, the container of the last remains of his friend Lark. And Ilka went on the hunt for information about her past and about the magic which returned her from the Pale only a few months prior. Her search led her to an inscrutable necromancer magically contacted via a scrying pool, hidden in a deep cellar of the Short Rest. The wizard promised the ability to return Lark to the living, to form a copy of the body of the lost. But without a soul, the body would be as a sea without water. Complicating the matter, Lark's soul was either unwilling or unable to come home. Clutching Lark's majestic red hat, Scoot and Ilka agreed to let the necromancer send them into the afterlife, the hat acting as the vessel to bring them all home. Alright, so. This is different.
Hey!
Matthias, do you have a way to get us back into this?
I think I do. Ilka and Scoot, please roll acrobatics.
This is weird.
Gladly.
Get your dice out.
I got my dice out.
D&D.
It's
Thank you.
Jack between an 8 and a 20, and I have to say it's closer to the 8, so that's a 9 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm rocking a 22 on that one.
Oh, good lord.
Okay, so in classic Swoj fashion, a portal opens horizontally, and Scoot falls like belly flop style about 6 feet onto hard, cold stone cobble. Ilka, you land on top of him gently, like upright.
Can I there's a flip in the air at least a little bit?
Definitely, yeah. Like at least one, if
There's
not more.
There's a little extra groan from where she does a handspring off of me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it sticks the landing. And you see that you're both in the cellar of the Short Rest. It's stone. There were big casks of wine. There's no sign of an excavation, which you've been working on, the two of you, over the past days. It's just your standard cellar. However, the corners are shadowier than usual. There's this kind of like flickering ambiance to the whole space that is not coming from any light source. It's just like this weird wavy shimmeriness to the air around you. And the staircase up to the surface has no trapdoor. There's just like a beam of light shining in from up above. As you take this all in, suddenly, like 5 feet away from you, a big green portal opens up, and out steps gracefully your friend Zay.
Oh,
Say!
hey, Zay. Oh, wait.
Come with me if you want to live.
Shit.
Sorry. Oh, how I've missed you.
Yeah, Zay, you were just traveling a moment ago with Lyrian the unicorn. However, Lyrian is nowhere to be seen. It's just your two friends in their own selves in the basement of the Short Rest.
So I just stepped through a portal yet again,
Yes.
having just moments ago been with Lyrian, expecting to be traveling towards the deep wilds. Did
Correct.
I purposely step through this
Yes, Lyrian led the way.
portal? Okay. Can we step back through the portal?
Nope. It disappears behind you. Both portals
Oh.
wink out of existence.
Oh, what to do?
You see that Ilka and Scoot are both like each in one hand carrying Lark's big old bright red hat. Almost like a Harry Potter portkey.
Hey!
Run toward Ilka and give her a huge squish.
I kind of wheeze like a concertina when she squeezes me.
Scoot, are you still on the ground?
No, I think I would have probably gotten up by this point.
Okay.
Especially once I saw the second portal popping up.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And that's it.
Give hugs. Okay, so we're in the Short Rest.
You're in the cellar, but there's light shining in, like outdoor light from the top of the stairs.
Okay. Well, if I look around and there's nothing else of interest down here, I'd probably head up that way. Talking along the way about what we've been doing.
Oh, okay. Catching up. Who takes the hat? Ilka or Scoot?
Yeah, I'll keep holding the hat.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
very
you made
delicately, gingerly. Does it fit in my pocket?
no. You'd have to like swing it around your neck or something. Like I don't know, like on top of your backpack or something.
Is it
Can I-
sacrilegious to put it on my head?
That's a personal question.
Fair. I'll hold it. Like out in front of me, like no, I'll flip it over. You know, like one of those big platters where you put tacos around the outside and like a dipping sauce in the middle.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
That's the one.
Can I still feel a connection to Lyrian at all?
Yes, you feel like the lingering presence of Lyrian, but you don't see any like physical sign of her.
Okay, because we've been pretty close this whole time.
Yeah.
That we've been spending in the Feywild together, and so I feel like it would feel really abrupt to just not have that connection anymore. But it's sort of softened by seeing my two good friends.
Yeah. So as you're
trail behind Scoot.
yeah. So Scoot and then Zay and then Ilka, you pop out of the cellar door one by one, like meerkats of sorts. And before you is not the city of Waterdeep, but instead you see, like, spanning for miles upwards and downwards, this huge shimmering mountainside, with a sort of a sunsetty twilight kind of bathing it in golden colors.
Oh.
This mountain, think like Yellowstone National Park, but like 100 times bigger. Just this gentle slope, not like Grand Teton, like sheer cliffs, but just like a gentle mountain, like a North Shore mountain, running upwards. You're kind of in a plains right now, like it's this sort of golden field, but you're right on the edge of a big forest. So this forest is like normal sized trees, a little bit bigger than usual, all different types and species. Some you recognize, some you don't. And this forest seems to kind of extend upwards along this slope, with the trees getting bigger and bigger and bigger. At the very top of the slope, it's not clear exactly how far away it is because everything gets bigger and bigger as it goes up the slope. You see this giant tree. It looks like it's not like maybe a rowan kind of tree, some sort of a big witchwood just sticking out of the top of the mountain, and kind of framing the treetops is the moon. The moon is almost full, and it seems like the Earth moon, the Forgotten Realms moon, but much bigger than usual. It's like a harvest moon.
Wow.
Yeah, and
it's beautiful.
it is breathtaking. Below you, downwards on the mountain, the base of the mountain is totally shrouded in darkness. Like there's this weird, just like miasma coating the bottom of the mountain. And it's just kind of sitting down there like a pool of darkness.
Well, that's a bummer because I want to go up there, but it feels like we're probably going to end up going down there.
As you get out and you look up, you hear first you see some red lightning kind of like strike the mountaintop.
Now I want to go down there instead.
Then you hear a low rumble kind of roll down the mountainside.
Matthias, do I recognize this area that we're in?
Roll knowledge, roll intelligence, nature or arcana, up to you.
All right, 21.
Wow. You don't recognize this mountainside specifically, but you do recognize that this is a Fey thing related to the seasons, and it seems like this mountain slope that you're on is very like spring and summery. It's sort of like the spring equinox type environment, and that kind of magic and life seems to flow through it. The red lightning that you saw up on top, that seemed bad. That's not like happy Fey magic. That's like dark magic. So that gives you a bad feeling right off the bat.
Okay. Scoot.
Yes.
Ilka, I'm really worried about that red lightning, and I'm not sure why we were drawn here, but I feel like that's what we should investigate.
Solid. Let's do it.
I'm very lost, so I will definitely go with you.
Yeah. You mean Scoot's not used to being like in this Fey world?
No. No, I'm looking for a boat. I want to get on a boat or a small room, something. It's a little scary
Solid
now.
ground.
Yeah, right? It's like
Something familiar.
before it was
Uh,
like cool mountain to hike, and now there's red lightning, which is the evilest of all lightning, and then like dark shadow nothingness down there, which probably also has red lightning that I can't see.
The nothing.
No.
All right, so yes,
Our task.
somebody lead the way because I'm petrified.
Okay.
I'm
Zay.
curious about the tree, the big one.
I think Zay starts hiking up the side of the mountain with the tree as her destination.
Okay.
Awesome.
I
I'm
agree,
gonna
Ilka.
I'm gonna fall right in behind Zay, working my way towards that tree.
Yep, going with the group.
Okay. Roll perception, Zay.
Oh no.
I mean, you
I'm
all
too busy
can if you're
worried
like
about
keeping your eyes
leaving.
out. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, I'd probably be pretty nervous and looking around a bit.
18.
10.
7.
7 and 10.
Yeah.
So as you reach the edge of the woods and start to make your way through the trees, for about 5 minutes, it gets darker and darker. But there's still like light shimmering on the treetops and kind of casting sunbeams down through the woods. You see signs of life, like small woodland creatures running away, making room for you as you make your way through the woods, kind of noisily. And all of a sudden, Ilka, Scoot and Zay, you guys are both just enjoying the ambiance and trying to follow the mountainside upwards and keep your footing. But Ilka, you notice that there's like a big area, like a big clearing kind of right in your path, that's just covered in leaves, like a little too uniformly for its own good. Almost as if somebody like distributed these leaves in this area to like hide something.
Ooh, I'm gonna like reach forward and halt Zay before she can step on the leaves.
Okay.
Hey, Zay! Those leaves didn't fall out of a tree that perfectly. I don't buy it.
I immediately stop walking and lean down to investigate a little bit more closely what's happening with the leaves.
Okay. Scoot, are you there too?
Yeah, I'm with the group. I'm just trying to decide if I'm so enamored and worried about everything around that I completely miss this conversation and just keep walking through.
You're behind us.
I was going to say both Ilka and
You
me.
trip over both of us.
He could trip over me. I've just bent down in front of him.
All right, I probably stopped just short.
Okay. So you'd stop just short. Right as Zay, you're brushing away the leaves, and you see what looks like a thick, like fiber cloth net just under the leaves. And as you're like observing that, all of a sudden the leaves erupt upwards, and this net like swings over from ahead of you over your heads backwards, and kind of like lands on the ground and twists around, almost as if by magic. And from the trees around you, about 10 figures leap down and surround you with bows drawn. They're all wearing kind of like camouflagey, like greens and browns. And from directly ahead of you, one figure who's particularly swashbuckling looking leaps down into the center of the path that you were following and walks towards you with a jaunty step. He has an eye patch, perfectly manicured pencil mustache and goatee. And he says, "At last we have you, you brigands. What do you have to say for yourselves?"
These aren't the brigands
We're
you're
not
looking for.
brigands. We're lost travelers. The pellet with the potion has the poison that is pestles.
A likely story, he says. Nah, tell me, what dark god do you serve? Why do you commit such atrocities in these woods? These used to be sacred lands.
I wish nothing more than to preserve the sacredness of these lands. Are we so that we were caught up in that net?
Yeah, you're like pinned to the ground with this fibrous net around you. You can try to get out if you want.
Do I recognize? Does this band look like they are like a troop or a tribe?
Yes. I mean, they all seem like they're wearing kind of the same uniform.
Is
They're
it
all different
because
species, though.
they're all different species? So they're more like a troop, I guess, based
Yes.
on the definition I haven't told you of yet.
While they're talking, I've taken out one of my hand axes and I'm casually trying to cut the rope, not trying to hide it at all, just like it is truly a nuisance. Just like, oh, you guys got us.
Sure.
I'm not even thinking of it. Just like, I don't got anything to say, so I'm going to try to get out now.
And as you're doing that, one of the brigands like leaps over to you in one graceful step and puts her heel on your hand as you try to cut it, like steps down hard and aims her bow at you.
Ow!
And the man addressing you says, "No, little Joan, gently. We want them to last."
Last. So
And
we
he
can
says,
help
"You
right the
say
wrong.
you don't know what I'm talking about. Who are you then?"
I'm Ilka. I play the concertina. I can show you. I got a couple good songs.
Oh. And these two?
I am Zay. I am a friend to the Fae.
And I'm Scoot, and together we're 3/4 of the silver waves of justice.
Ha! He says, "So you fight for justice? For freedom? For the Waterdavian way?"
When I'm not trapped in a fiberglass net, yes.
And he gives you a discerning look. He peels up his eye patch, and he's missing an eye, and he stares at you with his eye hole for a good 5 seconds. It's kind of weird. Then he puts it back down. And he nods and says, "Very well. I apologize for the confusion." And he makes a signal, and the people around him pull the net off of you really quickly. They're obviously very well trained. He says, "Then I must apologize. I am Rowan Crooks. These are my jolly gents. How may I make amends?"
Oh, we have a friend who would have given anything to meet you.
Where is he now?
That's what we're hoping to find out.
I would like to know how you made that net, because I'm very impressed with it.
Oh, you like it? It's made of a sort of jute from a far realm. It was a gift to us from some elves.
It's an excellent one.
Yeah, and as you're looking at it, like where you were cutting at it, the twine is like weaving back together again.
I guess
Of its own accord.
It's a fantastic net.
being a sailor especially, I'd be interested in that. I'm trying to understate the danger I'm in right now. Do a little misdirection.
Has there been any more lightning strikes since this began that we've noticed?
Maybe 1 or 2, yes.
Okay. Mr. Crooks, we are so very happy to meet you. I sort of thought you were just a fairy tale, and I'm so pleased to find that you might not be.
He grins.
Might not be. Can you tell us more about the terrible things that have been happening here? We are here only to help if we can. We've been brought here by means unknown to us, and we're still just trying to discover what it is that might have drawn us here, and I think you might be able to help.
He says, "Well, is one of you a powerful wizard? How did mortals such as yourselves make your way into the deep wilds?"
I shake my head. Not a powerful wizard.
Well, that's immaterial, I suppose. What's important is that we find a way to... You said you wanted to help your friend?
Yes, I didn't. So this is the deep wilds. Lyrian, my unicorn friend, she told me that she would bring me here, and I thought that she was coming with me. We're looking for our friend Lark. This is his hat, and I gesture to Ilka.
I wave it jauntily above my head and try to impersonate Lark and how he walks.
How does that look?
I poof up my chest and I stride forward with my arms swinging way up in the air, and I plaster this rictus grin on my face, and then I run over to Rowan Crooks and shake his hand really enthusiastically. I say, he's like this all the time.
Talk about a nat 20 on performance.
Yeah. He says, "For justice." Rowan seems genuinely impressed. He says, "That hat is far nicer than my own. I am truly amazed. He must be a fine fellow to carry himself in such a way." And adorn himself so finely.
The finest.
So you came here looking for him and for your unicorn friend. Well,
Well, we think that perhaps he has been taken prisoner by beasts that live in the deep wild.
Rowan says this is likely. That's who we were hunting. Actually, have been strange tribesfolk foreign to this area, wandering the forest, killing any animal they see on sight. We found the carnage in their wake as we traveled through these
No.
hills. My people and I, we are not here to address the killings. We've just been on our own on guard for them. We are seeking a different quarry further down below in the Shadowfell. But if we could help you at least temporarily before we resume our hunt, we can set some time aside. We're hot on the trail right now, and I don't want to lose it. We're seeking an evil wizard, and we
And you
believe.
thought one of them was us? Oh no, you thought we were the ones leaving the carnage.
I thought you might have been servants of his, or perhaps the culprits of these murdered denizens of the Fae. However, I can see now that I was very mistaken, and again, I apologize. But yes, we're on the trail of a wizard by the name of Manchun. We found traces of his magic in the area, and we don't want them to go cold. So, if you'd like, I could take you up the hill a ways. There's a settlement of friendly Fae further up through these woods.
We'd love that, Mr. Crooks. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yep, I'm ready to hunt something.
Very well.
I've got a lot of built-up aggression right now, and I need to let it out.
A man after my own heart, and little Joan, she's a humanoid, but she's got kind of pale skin and not really much of a nose. She's obviously kind of alien. She nods at you when you say that and kind of like waggles her eyebrows in understanding. Then, without further ado, Rowan starts leading you through the woods, and he kind of takes you off the path that you were on. He says the well-established trails aren't necessarily the safest trails in the Feywild, so if you come with me, and he leads you through like a more winding path up the hill.
I follow quickly but deftly.
Yeah, and you notice that his people around him are silent. Some like are leaping through trees. Little Joan actually gave you the net, Scoot, if you want to like check it out. It like bundles up really well, so like one person can carry it.
Oh yeah.
Like gave, or
am I just carrying it? Because I'd be happy just carrying it too. But
she's just letting you check it out.
Oh, oh, sweet. Yeah, I'm
take it.
Oh, this is a problem. Now I'm walking, but I'm definitely my focus is not on this. So I should be in the middle of the pack because I'm not looking at my feet at all. I could be tripping over anything. I'm just checking out the knots and all that and seeing how they did it and seeing if I could try to memorize them a little bit so I could recreate it when I get home.
Wonderful.
On the way, Zay tries to talk with Rowan Crooks, if it's okay to be chatting.
Mm-hmm. You notice that a couple of his people are casting a spell, which you feel it's familiar to you. It's a pass without trace spell, and so you're all like preternaturally more quiet than usual.
Okay.
So yeah, you're able to talk, and it kind of gets muted as it leaves your mouth.
Can I say one more thing before that moves on? After I'm done with the net, well, I'm watching everyone else sort of move amongst the trees, jumping around in that. I'm probably trying to imitate that a little bit with my boots of striding and springing.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Just not the high branches though, because I've got a real bad track record on this stuff. But I'm definitely just showing that I got a little bit of game there too.
Roll acrobatics then.
Oh fuck! All right, I bet you a 6 is gonna do good.
Just a raw 6, or like with your dexterity?
5 + 1.
Nice. Yeah, no, Scoot is being noisy AF.
Oh fuck.
Even with the pass without trace.
Oh shit.
And it isn't long before, as you're traveling, you hear in the distance ahead of you the cry of several wolves.
I stop.
And it's not really clear what it's not like a clean wolf howl, it's almost like pained.
I'm making the forest actually sad.
The Jolly Gents freeze in their tracks and listen.
I stop immediately.
Okay.
I'm done goofing around.
Okay. You crawl, you like pick yourself up off the ground after you just like broke through a branch and landed.
I've learned my lesson.
So instead of asking Rowan Crooks how he ended up in the Feywild, I am going to ask him if he, I'm just in an urgent voice, do you think that the brigands are nearby?
He says, I don't know, but that howl sounded unnatural. And then he
I
holds a finger to his mouth and says, they're coming this way. And ahead of you, weaving through the trees, it's kind of misty. The trees are getting taller. It's still like sunset, the light above you. But you see 4 wolves weaving through the trees, and they're casting long shadows. And they freeze when they see you, and kind of keep their distance, just watching you. And you can see at this distance of like 150 feet or so that their fur is covered in blood.
Mm.
So what do you do?
I'm waiting to see what the rest of the Row and Crook gang is doing on this one.
They're just on alert right now. They're looking around for any other signs of trouble.
I would have, I'd have my great axe one-handed and be using a shield and just sort of stand off.
Okay.
Getting ready for action.
They don't appear to be fleeing. They're just walking toward us.
They're just keeping their distance now that they've seen you. They don't know what your intentions are.
I cast Speak with Animals and gently call out, we mean you no harm. May we offer you healing?
Roll animal handling with advantage.
19, 18.
Okay. And you said we mean you no harm and
May we offer you healing?
happy healing. The 4 wolves, well, 3 of them look at one wolf in the lead, and then the 4 of them immediately relax and approach you. And you can see that they're kind of limping. One of them's whimpering slightly in pain. And the one that's in the lead says, please, they killed and ate the rest of our pack. Can you help us?
Certainly. And I speak to both Ilka and the Jolly Gents, asking if anyone has healing to offer. And if they can't, I can.
They look at each other, the Jolly Gents, and 2 of them jump down, and they kind of weave their hands in a circular, like an orb shape, and poof, good berries appear in their hands. And they, kind of following your lead, they come down to the wolves, and the wolves seem cautious at first, but they're taking their cues from you, and they accept the good berries and eat them, and start to their wounds begin to heal.
So now that they seem to have calmed down and we've begun to help them, I look to the leader again and ask, can you tell us more about those that attacked your pack?
And she says they were worse than animals. They were consumed with bloodlust. I believe they serve the Beast Lord.
Who is the Beast Lord?
I translate for her.
Thank you.
And the wolf says, we do not speak his name. He uses our kind as pets, as tools, and nothing more.
Is he of the Deep Wilds or of Shadowfell?
He is of the wilds. We believe they're coming from the pool of eternal spring at the top of the mountain.
We should probably continue up to that spring.
Is there anything you can tell us about how to possibly defeat his minions or the Beast Lord himself?
The wolf laughs as much as a wolf can laugh, like it just kind of coughs, and then looks you directly in the eyes and says, do not think that a mortal could fight the Beast Lord and win. He would corrupt you.
Fair point. Anything to defend ourselves against him?
They say, we will travel with you. Trust one another. Do not give in to bloodlust.
Do not give in to bloodlust.
Uh-oh.
Like his minions do.
I look to my Swoj members and I say, perhaps it's good that Lark is not with us in this moment, since he is part beast.
I'm nodding. You can't see that, but yes, I agree.
And I tell them what the wolf said, and I tell all of the Jolly Gents and Rowan Crooks that it seems the next step is to travel to the top of the mountain to the pool of eternal spring. Will you join us, or will you continue to the Shadowfell?
And Rowan says, a noble quest. I am afraid that our hunt takes us down the mountain, but I can take you to the Polvarth Plateau, and from there the Fae will guide you.
Yeah,
Alright.
let's go. This guy sounds like a dick.
Excellent.
So as we walk, I would like to try to think through how we might try to protect ourselves from the bloodlust. Find out if the Jolly Gents or Rowan Crooks know anything about this bloodlust, how it's, how you get it. Is it possible to come back from it? Those kinds of things.
Yeah, and they seem sort of at a loss. They've never dealt with the Beast Lord directly. They just know that's sort of his domain. The Beast Lord, from what they know, is that he is sort of the patron deity of like lycanthropy and like monstrous hunger, like wanton killing. And they know that his domain is the deep wilds, and so that's one of the reasons why they were passing through here quickly and very cautiously, because they didn't want to make any waves.
Do you have anything that my friend Scoot here could cover his bareness with, in case we encounter some lycanthropes? I'm trying to decrease his risk of being bitten and turning it into something.
Well, they look at each other, and one of the Jolly Gents speaks up. Says, "Hello, I'm Friar Truck. I have some outfits here that might fit you. You're kind of a big one, though.
Are you willing,
like
Scoot?
one?
Yeah, I'm willing to play dress up. Sure, I'll give it a shot.
Do you lose your armor bonus? If it's just clothing, you don't, right?
No, yeah, just clothing. I think I'm fine. I just wasn't sure when you said bareness. I wasn't sure if you meant like my totem or.
Or oh no, sorry. He's practically naked.
I'm quite exposed. No, I'll take the clothes that they think would best suit me.
Okay, and I mean they have a uniform just like the ones they're wearing. It's kind of a mottled green and brown, very classic Robin Hood.
Well, that's good because
it gives you +2 to stealth when you're in the woods.
Oh, excellent. What I was picturing was going to be when you have 2 or 3 mismatched armor sets in WoW, and you got pink with green with the black and spikes.
Yeah, no, they're very color coordinated, the Jolly Gents.
Okay,
So
sounds like it. Saw that.
Yeah, I was really ready for like a Mardi Gras festival Scoot going on here.
Sequence.
You do notice as you're putting it on, all of you kind of at the same time notice that your physical attributes are a little bit like enhanced in this Fae world.
Interesting.
Like Ilka, you look healthy, like your skin's not decaying anymore. You look like a human person.
Shut the fuck up. You know what?
For realsies. I mean, there's like little hints of it, like in your sunken eyes, but like generally speaking, you look good. Zay, you're like shimmering a little bit. And Scoot, like your dolphin tattoo is like cavorting around your body. It's not stuck in one place. Like it's fucking alive.
It's doing laps around my torso.
Yeah, like it's just loving life right now.
If I go like grin at one of our cohorts, they're not gonna like run screaming at my rictus grin going on.
I guess it depends on how you do it.
Oh, that's true.
My hope now.
I do my best to be winsome.
My hope now is that the dolphin tattoo takes up residence like over my eyes, so it's like a half thing where it's like jumping around my face.
Yeah, definitely. You've got a real Maui thing going on.
Yeah. Exactly. Oh, beautiful. And the clothes, did you have, I'm sorry if you had a actual name for that. What did you describe it as? I just want to write it down.
Oh, we'll just call them Jolly Gents.
Jolly Gents. Thank you.
Yep. +2 to stealth clothing.
I'm trying to sketch the dolphin tattoos on your face. So I'm like the orc with the dolphin tattoo.
before we part, can I ask Rowan Crooks to sign
Oh,
Lark's hat?
genius.
Oh my god.
Oh.
If they need
and
blood, you can have some of mine.
What part of it should he sign?
Probably the underside, just in case he gets upset.
Yeah, and he signs it along the brim on the inside.
Yay!
He writes to Lark with love and admiration, Rowan Crooks, and then like after that, for justice.
Beautiful.
And eventually, so you keep moving through the woods. These 4 wolves follow you as you go, and you reach this clearing. In this clearing, it's sort of this kind of little small plateau on the way up the mountain. And at this plateau, at the center of it, is a massive oak tree, maybe like 300 feet high. Strong, like Deku tree energy.
I'm picturing Breath of the Wild like 90% of the time when you're making these descriptions.
Good.
Not that that's your fault, but because I've just been immersed in it.
Similar cultural roots. It's all right.
Roots, I get it.
And in the roots of the tree, there's like a small pool of water. And you notice that the water flows into a creek, but the creek doesn't flow down the mountain, it flows up the mountain,
Trippy.
defying gravity. Yeah.
Does anything else defy gravity?
Yeah, witches, but there aren't any
All right.
in the area that you can see.
Cool.
So Rowan Crooks says, "This is where we leave you, my friends. Before we go, I understand what you're about to do is very heroic and very dangerous, and as such, I would like to offer you these gifts at least. Firstly, this net that you've taken such an interest in, my friend.
Oh,
Please take it. We can make another. It's fine.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
As well as these 2 knives, and he pulls from his own little, like, he's got like a bunch of knife sheaths on his person, and he pulls these 2 knives out. One says Rowan on it, and one says Crooks. And they're both made of silver. And he holds them out to the 3 of you, like if anybody wants to take them. He says, these are impossibly sharp knives, and I believe they may serve you well if you happen to be fighting the servants of the Beast Lord in the near future.
I step forward, thank him, take one, and slide it into my belt.
I will take the one that says Rowan and slide it into my belt.
Cool.
Are they sheathed, or did it just slice right through my belt?
That's a good point. Actually, it slices your belt, but you manage to catch it before you like really slice through your belt all the way. You just got a nick. And he's like, "Oh, wait," and he gives you the sheaths as well.
Can anybody whip a mend on this belt real quick before you head off?
Yeah.
So you're referring to
Yeah,
these
little
as
chunk.
knives. Are they the equivalent of a dagger, but better?
Yeah. So mechanically, they're +2 daggers that crit on a 19 and a 20.
Oh, wow.
Is that nat or assisted?
Nat.
Shiny.
Yep.
Anything special I should know about the net?
The net.
Yeah.
Only that it self-repairs and that it seems to expand slightly. So it's small enough you can carry it in one hand like a weaponized net, but it expands to a size of about 30 feet
Oh, excellent.
when you like cast it out.
Okay.
So whatever 30-foot diameter. So whatever that means to you as far as like creative uses, there you go.
Gotcha. Thank you.
And then Rowan Crooks turns to his friends, unless you have some parting words, and he says, "My friends, the wizard awaits." He turns to you and says, "We wish you luck."
We wish luck to you as well.
I bow with a flourish.
He bows as well with a massive flourish,
May you have
almost as if he's trying to outdo you a little bit, like he's got a little bit of that ego thing.
May you have quick
I
travels
I
on cool
grin
nights.
widely.
What's that?
I said, may you have quick travels on cool nights.
Before
Thank
he
you.
leaves, I give him a little hug around the waist and offer him guidance.
Aw.
He just grins warmly. He wasn't expecting any kind of kindness like this in a place as wild as this. And he just nods and says, "Thank you, Zay." He turns to his friends and says, "For justice!" And they book it down the hill into the woods again, leaving you standing on the edge of this clearing.
This is very bittersweet because Lark isn't here.
In the distance, you hear the rumble of thunder again, and some red light streaks across the horizon.
How are the wolves doing?
Whew.
The wolves are just watching it calculatedly.
Okay.
They're very quiet and serious.
Okay, I've actually my speak with animals will have worn off by now.
Right.
Yeah, so
If you wait 10 minutes, you can cast it as a ritual.
I mean, they're still
Guys,
watching you
let's
for
just
cues.
hang
It's not like
out.
you
No.
can't communicate anymore. Yeah.
Sure. Shall we follow this river? Does that appear to be the way to go?
It does seem to lead up the hill.
Let's follow the river up the hill.
Oh, it says. Okay, so we learned that this is Kendra Natse, that the Beast Lord of the Wilds lives at the Pool of Eternal Spring, which would be this one because it's creating the water that's moving up the hill. I guess maybe that's Zay. Maybe Zay is asking this.
So does that
Do we
mean
think this is
do
it?
we go downhill? I can't tell which way. I'm very confused. I'm dumb.
It's also part of the nature of the place that you're in. It really is like directions kind of shift and change, and distances aren't quite to scale. So
Oh.
it just goes against everything that Scoot finds natural,
Yeah.
even though it's so natural.
Very lost. When the water doesn't behave the way it's supposed to behave, basically that's like the compass no longer points north.
Yeah. So as you guys just stand on the edge of this clearing, or do you like go to the water to check it out, or like what's your MO?
I would check out the water.
Yeah.
I'd be fascinated by that.
Yeah. So as you approach it, like the spring here, the spring of the pool, the tree, the big old oak tree in the center of the clearing, seems to come awake. It kind of like does like the sound of like a grandparent waking up from a deep nap, and kind of like.
I've seen this. They attack Isengard.
And it says, "Pardon my rudeness for being asleep.
Oh.
It's been a long time since I've seen travelers such as you in these parts. You may call me Feanor." It talks a bit faster than Lord of the Rings Treants.
Thank God.
Good.
Yeah.
Does
You're welcome, listeners.
they recognize? Does they recognize that name or this idea of a ginormous speaking tree?
Roll intelligence.
18 plus
Ooh.
4 for nature. Is that
Uh,
allowed?
Yeah, that name rings a bell. Like it restores a memory to you that you didn't have previously. The name Feanor, he's this guardian tree of this pool, and this pool is the spring season pool that flows upward into the pool of eternal spring.
Cool.
So it's a bit confusing, but there's actually 4 pools around this mountain, one for each season, and they flow up to the top of it. And this kind of comes back to you in a rush as you hear his name, and you realize that you're on the spring side of the mountain.
Oh, all of what you've said is all coming together now. I love it. Ilka, Scoot,
Yes.
Yes.
we are on the spring side of the mountain, and if we want to find the pool of eternal spring, we need only follow this creek. Am I right, Thanor?
Feanor says, "Well, yes. Why are you going there?"
There's an evil beast lord, and we need to destroy him.
And the top of the tree shakes in perturbance, and all of a sudden the tree kind of closes. It's got big old tree eyes, because of course it does, and it closes its eyes, and its roots kind of like wriggle and writhe and stretch out into the ground. You can kind of hear them and feel them moving through the ground. And after about 30 seconds, it opens its eyes again and looks at you and says, in a sad voice, it says, "The pool of eternal spring is being sullied, tainted by bloodlust." And he looks very, very distraught. He begs you. He says, "Please, go to the pool and do whatever is necessary to make it pure and clean again."
Is the Beast Lord always this way? Is it always do this to his followers, or is something perhaps wrong with the Beast Lord?
Feanor furrows his brows, pauses for a moment, and then says, "The Beast Lord has an endless strife with the denizens of the forest, particularly those that follow Larue, the goddess of unicorns. The pool of eternal spring was once a sanctuary of Larue, so I can only assume that the Beast Lord wants to strike against Larue in some way by tainting this pool."
Oh.
What a jerk.
You guys, I've met LaRue. She's lovely. That's all I say about it.
Zay casually name drops.
Yeah, right.
She's my friend.
Good.
Just like Thanor here.
And from the pool, a root like plucks out of the ground a small wooden bottle, and kind of like shakes some dirt off of it, and hands it to you, Zay.
I reach out to take it.
And says, "With this purest water, perhaps you could find a way to cleanse the pool."
We will try.
Neat.
We will try our best.
He says, "If you seek more information, there's a small settlement, a community of Fae on the way up the hill. The small town of Dewlight. You'll pass it on the way up. There's a kind old sprite there named Wheel Doley. He may have more information. Otherwise, please make haste."
All right.
If we follow the river, will it take us to Dewlight?
Yes, it'll take you past it.
Okay. Ilka, you were saying?
I stride on. I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
Very well.
All right. I take the bottle of purest water. Does it appear to be something that could be breakable?
It seems to be made of hard wood. So
Oh, great.
the wood is
Okay.
breakable. Yeah.
I secure it, but I'm not too worried about it breaking or something.
Okay.
I wave at Thanor and keep going up the stream.
And he waves a big old branch back.
Or down the stream. I don't know
So
what's
you swell
happening.
down.
I'm going
Yeah,
uphill
watch-
but downstream.
Uphill, downstream. Yeah.
It's
Okay, and so after about less than an hour after setting out, you come upon this
One-
area near the river.
1 second before we get there. I want to, while we're kind of going, while we're still near Thanor, I kind of want to talk to my companions a little bit.
Okay.
I want to. Is Bloodlust the same as Rage? Should I be going there?
Is it going to consume you and make you want to eat other blood?
I don't. Is that what is going on? Because, yeah, I like fighting. Am I going to be a problem up there?
I don't think so, because even when you're enraged, you can still control what you do, can't you?
Yeah, for the most part.
It's not like
Still make choices.
Yeah, it's not like you attack us. You
No.
attack the other people.
And I hope. Yeah, yes. All right, everything's gonna be fine. All right, I just wanted to get your takes on that.
You are part dolphin now. So
This is true. And dolphins
You
very
might be more
rarely
susceptible.
experience blood rage. I think.
Very rarely.
I'm looking at the dolphin now for just a little bit of reassurance. Hopefully it's moved to someplace I can see, like my hand or my forearm or something.
Yeah, it is inscrutable.
Okay.
It's got a poker face.
Oh, son of a bitch. That's all right. All right. I'm gonna have faith. All right. Let's
So
get
as you're talking, you realize that you're in a glen, maybe like 100 feet long along the path, and this area is peppered with colorful mushrooms growing on top of one another. Some of them are in clusters of like 3, 5, 7 feet high, and there's like a warm glow emanating from tiny little lanterns hanging from each mushroom. There's small little chimneys jutting from the caps of some of the mushrooms. Chimneys are made of like petrified bark, everything's very natural. The glow is coming from little fireflies.
This place is adorable.
And you see no signs of life aside from the mushrooms and the light.
I sit cross-legged down onto the ground and I pull out my concertina and I'm going to very softly play a song of the Fae that I remember.
Roll performance.
And I would like to, once she gets going,
12.
I'd like to bop my shield with my hand as a beat. Like with
Nice.
whatever she does to kind of assist.
You can roll with advantage then, Ilka, if you'd like.
Not better. 12.
I'm a terrible
That's
shield
enough,
player.
though. That's enough. After a moment, one small Fae appears. He steps out from behind the stem of a mushroom. He's kind of an older little creature, big ears. He says,
Greetings, big folk. I, Wheel Doley, welcome you to Dewlight and suggest you be on your way.
Huh.
he seems very hesitant, like he's like ready to like disappear at a moment's notice, but he's watching you, and you're playing
I-
music, so he's giving you a shot.
I sit down next to Ilka and making myself as small as I can, and I say, "We have been brought to the Feywild, to the deep wilds, I think by LaRue. And our goal here is to cleanse her pool and prevent further suffering in these lands."
He perks up when you say that. He says, wonderful. A group of vicious predators have been stalking through the forest of late. Wheeldoli believes that they are disciples of Malar the Beast Lord. You would be careful to approach them, strangers.
Do you avoid them merely by hiding from them?
Yes. They can't see us when we turn invisible. He
We do
says,
not
whatever's
have
happening... Oh, go ahead.
we do not have such art to turn invisible. Do you have any advice for beings like us?
He says, all I can say is that there's no time to waste. Whatever's happening on the pool is likely to reach its peak when the moon is full. It could be tonight.
All right, I stand up. I delicately bow in a way that would respect a fae, and then continue on my way.
Whoa. I'm curious what that means.
I know Zay stands aghast that she's just offended him.
What the? It's like a polite head nod. I don't know.
There's hand signals, and you have to do a sort of thing with your ears.
Little dance.
Do like the cup song, yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wheeldoli just nods. He doesn't seem much for conversation. He's just kind of scared. But he gives you that warning and sends you on your way. And so you keep following the trail along the river?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps with a bit more urgency.
Okay.
Since we know that tonight could be the night that it culminates. Can we ask... I'd like to try to indicate that one of the wolves, since they probably have better senses than us, leads the way rather than following us.
Okay, yeah. So you convey that to the wolves, and the alpha one, she takes point and leads you off the path, away from the river, and kind of adjacent to it again, near the river where you can still see it, but like not in full view of the path.
Mm-hmm.
And she kind of trail finds for you as you go. So unless any of you have specific things you'd like to do, you travel along this trail for what feels like maybe an hour or two. It should be nighttime, but it's not. It's still this twilight as you go up the hill. However, the lightning, the booms of thunder that you've heard have been getting more and more frequent every few minutes at this point. Suddenly, the wolf pauses, and ahead of you, you hear what sounds like a weird cacophony, like faintly in the distance, of different animals, like screeching and howling and clawing at surfaces. It sounds awful. It sounds like a bunch of animals in pain and distress.
I don't like that, and I want to stop what that is.
Yep,
Okay.
dislike.
You can vaguely see like a flickering light, like a firelight, maybe like 500 feet ahead of you through the trees.
Yeah, I'm moving really fast towards that.
Oh, okay. You just like book it. Are you stealthing at all, or are you just going?
Yeah, whatever's in there, I don't want to just burst in and be seen, so I'm trying to get to it quickly. And I'm gonna stop maybe 10 feet outside the firelight, hopefully hidden by a tree or a bush or something.
Okay. Roll that stealth.
11.
Okay. Zay and Scoot,
All right. You want us to roll stealth too?
if you're stealthing and following.
Yeah, I guess I
Otherwise-
am.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck me. Let's see, I got +1, and then the clothes I'm wearing for a +3, so I got 4. I rolled a 1.
The wolves rolled a 2, so don't worry.
I probably tripped over a wolf.
Yeah, exactly. You're like bumping
a
into each other.
20.
Oh, God.
I got
Nice.
a nat 20.
Okay.
So 22.
I hope
So
you guys
Zay
are
and
nowhere around me.
Stealthy.
I was going to hide behind Scoot since I'm stealthy, but I've decided that was a bad idea.
What? Why?
You see 2 buildings ahead of you. One of them is a rundown shack with a light through a really ragged, like boarded up, kind of like falling apart window. And then next to it, the shack is about like 15 feet wide by like 20 feet. Near it, like 30 feet away in this small clearing, is a building that's like 3 times the size. And in this building is where all of the racket is coming from. It sounds like there are several animals inside that building.
Okay, my saving grace on this. There's a lot of noise going on right now. So if
True.
I
Yep.
stumbled and made a bunch of noise, it would be very well covered, plus thunder.
Correct.
A lot of stuff. So maybe I didn't kill everyone.
So what do you do?
I try to hide behind a tree or something.
All right. You're all behind trees.
I try to recover. I want to recover from the stealth. Do a quick 6-second reassess, see if anybody's coming after me, and then go for it.
So we don't see anything outside of these 2 buildings.
No, nothing's moving outside of them.
Can
Whatever
I
is alive is inside.
use my 22 to try to approach like a window or a notch in the wall or
Yep.
something to
Yeah.
allow me to be
Can-
Yeah,
inside?
you can peek inside the rundown window if you like.
Can I ask what the
Yeah.
wolves are doing?
The wolves are looking at you kind of guiltily, like they feel bad for stumbling and making noise and fucking up your stealth.
Oh,
Oh, if they're looking at me, I'll be like, no, that was my bad, guys. It's where
Okay.
me tripping. So that's probably what I spent my 6 seconds doing,
Yeah.
having a little positive reinforcement
Apologetic
circle.
conversation with the wolves.
Yes,
And they're just nodding understandingly,
Okay,
like it's
that's
way too polite.
yeah.
It's okay.
I'm Minnesota nicing this with the wolves.
Yeah. Zay, you reach the window and you can peek inside. The inside of the shack is terribly out of repair. There's a ramshackle bed. There's a table covered in scratches. There's like a warped shelf with all kinds of weird containers on it, full of like body parts. And there's a big old cauldron right in the center of the shack, with a familiar-looking figure standing next to it. It's a hag with long curled nails and long hair down to her feet, and she's missing an arm. She seems to be she has one hand inside the cauldron, and she's mixing it around, and she plucks it out and looks at it occasionally. And it's this kind of small, heart-shaped stone that she seems to be cooking in the cauldron. To your left, there are 2 figures bound and gagged on the floor. They appear to be tree people, dryads. They're not aware of you. Nobody's aware of you. They're all just doing their thing.
Okay, I turn to my companions and whisper, the hag of Trollskull Manor. I know where she's been banished to. There are 2 dryads to be rescued inside.
Did I hear all that from behind the tree while talking to the
Yeah.
wolf? So I got it. Okay, I try to re-stealth if possible.
Sure.
To get
You
up.
want to re-roll it, you're saying?
Yeah, just because
Go for
I
it.
didn't approach. I stayed back behind. This was in a clearing sort of area, if I remember correctly. Yeah, so I'll just do a quick. Okay, 11, 12, 13, 14 on stealth.
Vastly improved.
Okay. So I would try to
Just-
get up towards Zay and try to catch up with what's going on.
Does it seem like the animal noises came from the dryads?
No, the animal noises are coming from the other building.
Oh, the larger building. This
Yeah.
is the shack.
Yes.
Caught up. Okay.
Okay, so I'm at the shack with the hag and a couple of tied up dryads.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Do we want to investigate both before we pursue an option?
I would indicate that I will stay here and watch the witch, and if it seems like the witch is going to the point of no return on the dryads, then I would just charge in and attack her.
What do we know about her, though? Do you remember? We got her because of her heart. That's how we were able to defeat her the first time.
I wasn't thinking that far ahead.
This is 15 episodes ago.
DM, any help on this?
I think Justin's dying right now. Um,
I don't know what you're talking about. He's
you-
already dead.
You people
roll
are gonna
intelligence
save
if
me?
you want.
All right. History?
Intelligence wiki.
Oh, of course. That's the thing I roll a freaking 20 on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You remember that you fought her in the attic of Trollskull.
God.
You threw her heart into the cauldron, and it made her turn real when she was a ghost.
Okay.
Scoot, you cut off her arm, and then Zay killed her by biting her as a spider and poisoning her to death.
Okay.
She turned into a mush on the floor and disappeared.
All right.
Mush on the
right. So
floor.
the heart are mortal.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, knowing all that, now I can stay and watch her if they want to check out, if Ilka and Zay want to check out the other one.
Okay,
Okay.
Or we can all jump her now. There's 2 options.
I don't know. She doesn't see us. We've got advantage through the window. This seems like a perfect opportunity.
to...
Kill the hag.
All right.
We'll just throw spells through the window.
That's-
She's
She'll
not
never be able
expecting
to
us.
come
Yeah.
back.
That's not going to work for me, but okay.
You do have a magic net.
I do have a magic
Oh
net.
yes.
I do have a magic
Thank
net.
you, Ex Deus Ex Machina.
One of the wolves is like nudging your net.
All right.
Okay. I communicate all of this to Scoot. That I'm gonna cast through the window, and he should break through the door with the net. And I do this using elaborate hand signs and mime.
Do we have a way to silence
sense.
her in case she's like alerts someone?
Let's see. The net technically restrains. Is that correct?
Yeah, it kind of tightens.
Okay. I'm getting deep on there. Does restrain mean she can't do hand motions for spells?
I believe so. Yes,
All
I'll say
right.
yes.
Okay. All right. Well, then I have a different idea. I will break through and just grapple her to restrain her.
I
Okay.
can use dissonant whispers. She'll have to run away, which would mean running out the door into the net.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, we'll do that. I've set the net on the ground in front of the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna cast dissonant whispers through the window.
So she makes a Constitution save, Charisma save.
I need a wisdom save. 13.
She fails,
Yes, she
Uh,
does.
surprisingly. Like you feel a resistance, but it still gets through. Like you're familiar with her wavelength, and you just say just the right things to get into her head.
I do, because I fought her before, and
Right.
so I'm gonna be pulling up like references to that fight and like highlighting how much she sucked and that we won.
And she pauses and like looks at her hand and her stump, and then takes the heart and like stores it in her chest. She like plucks it out of the cauldron, puts it in her chest, and looks around and eventually like cursing to herself softly, like in a state of distress. She steps outside. Where I
She
assume
takes-
you tighten the net.
Yeah, as soon as she
Takes-
gets through the door to the spot where the net is laid out, then I'm gonna
Okay.
yank.
She takes
on the...
damage too.
I think
3d6 psychic damage.
Oh,
11.
Jesus.
Fuck. Okay.
It's a great spell.
Yeah, she's not looking well, and then she steps outside and just zoop. You want to make an attack roll with advantage, Scoot, to see if you grapple her,
Sure.
or a grapple roll, I guess.
Is this for the net, or for?
If that's how you're doing it, you tell me.
Okay, so I guess what I would like to do is I'd like to yank the net, the magic net, to close that. That's got a whole. I've been looking up net in the PHB.
Mhm.
So I'll do an attack. I don't know what let's see. It's 8. My attack bonus for other things is +5. For based on strength and proficiency. It'd
Yep.
be 10 if it was just proficiency.
That's your ultimate roll.
For I don't know what you want for using the net.
Just an attack roll.
A straight attack roll.
we'll
Yeah,
go
then
with
that's
that
going to be 13.
Okay. I'm not super on top of net rules myself, so I'll have to do some research. But
Yeah.
we'll go with an attack roll.
Okay.
Which that succeeds.
Okay.
And
So it would technically restrain her. My vision is the net tightens up like it did on us, and she's on the ground.
Okay.
And then I can't do another attack with a net, is what I'm learning right now. At least that's what we'll go with for the moment. So
Okay.
using a net uses up all my attacks for a round.
Okay. So do you want to keep attacking her, or what's your goal here? Now you have her in a net.
I
right?
would
You-
drop onto her
wolves are
now.
surrounding her.
Now I would try to restrain her outside the net as well.
Sure.
I want to sneak past her to release the dryads from inside.
Okay. Yeah. And you can do that in a matter of seconds. You just sneak in and slice their bondage. And they get up and dust themselves off, and they seem terrified at first. But then they see you, and there's like it clicks to them that you're there to help them right away. Do you say anything to them, or
We're here on behalf of LaRue.
they say thank you? I am Trichala. This is Argentia. Our sister is missing. The hag took her. Can you help us find her?
Yes.
Thank you. And okay, and that's about 6 seconds. So, Scoot and Ilka, you're gonna suplex the hag and say anything, do anything
So she put the heart inside her clothing or inside her body?
inside a cavity in her chest.
Dang, can I reach in and take it?
Yeah, roll sleight of hand.
And
I'm gonna sneak it.
if someone tells me while I'm grappling with her that that's what the goal is, then I would try to adjust my grapple, kind of like restrain her, but still have her
Yeah.
chest exposed.
Does 14 get the heart?
Yes, just barely. And like she grabs your hand as you grab her heart, and she's like resisting you. Are you trying to like pull it out or just like threaten her? What's your goal?
Oh, I unfortunately hadn't thought that far ahead. I just impulsively like wanted the heart
Yeah.
because that worked last time.
She's like fighting with Scoot, and she's wrapped up in this net, and she's trying to like keep you from pulling it out, but you're able to, should you choose to.
Okay, well I slap her other wrist and then I pull the heart out of her chest.
Jeez. Okay. And
Just KO'd
and
her
she
ass.
immediately withers. Like she just like stops putting up a fight. She goes like limp. She's watching you all. Zay, as you free the two dryads, you can kind of see this happening out the door behind you. And she just immediately deflates and starts like pleading, like, please, not again, please.
Why did you tie up those two dryads?
She says, in service to Malar.
I step out and ask, what's happening in the other building?
She says, those are ready sacrifices. And she kind of grins a little.
Where's their sister?
Inside.
I thought so.
If possible now, I would like to find a way to suspend her in the air. I don't know if there's anything to do that with.
You could pick her
Like,
up.
throw the other end of the net over a tree and then tie it off like we were actually
Okay, yeah.
like
Yeah, you can drag her over to a tree and do that. Yep, absolutely. Very Star Wars Return of the Jedi with the Ewoks.
Yeah, and for a regular net, creatures can make a DC 10 strength check to free it or do slashing damage.
Yep. She's not even putting up a fight with
Okay.
her heart in Ilka's hand.
Oh, perfect. So I would like to just hang her up in the tree and then get back to work.
What does that mean? What do you do?
We got another building to check out.
She's in the tree, yeah. She's open to any questions, but she's mainly just like reaching pitifully for the heart.
Why are you serving Malar? You know he's evil.
She says, "What is evil? He helped me after you killed me."
You're not giving me a lot of incentive not to do it again, so give me a better answer.
She says, "You're here for your friend, yes? Malark?
Yes.
Wave Silver?
Yes.
Yes. He's up there right now. I plucked him out of Kelemvor's fist and gave him to Malar, the Beast Lord. The bait was set. Now the trap will be sprung upon your unicorn friend." And she kind of like leers at Zay when she says that.
I poke her in the eye.
You do.
I love it. She's up really high. It's kind of hard.
and she yowls. She's like, curses your name.
Okay,
The moon is full. Say goodbye to your friends.
I want to go check out the other building.
Never again. Say's heart is just like almost full to bursting at the thought that we could find Lark again.
The other building, so
Yeah.
you open it up, it's not even locked, and inside there are 18 cages with like bars over them, and in almost all of the cages is an animal, different species of animals. There's a boar and a hyena and a hawk and a giant rat and a baboon, and in one of the cages at the far end is a dryad tied up and unconscious.
All right, I go to the dryad cage first and open that up.
And
Free the
the
dryad.
other two dryads follow you, and immediately they grow berries out of their hands magically and start giving them to their sister.
Okay.
And she kind of coughs back to life as they take care of her.
I asked the dryads if they want me to open the rest of the cages.
They're barely paying attention to you, but they nod. They're like,
Okay.
yes, of course, free
Then
everything.
Then I go to work. I just start opening up all the cages.
Okay, and every animal, as soon as you break up the cage, it just takes off. They're all terrified, and they just try to get out of here as fast as they can.
Perfect. Doors open.
Yep.
that beats like all 18 of them trying to eat us, which is where I thought this
I
might
was
go.
worried about that too. I was like, should we investigate this?
Yeah.
There's one captive that remains. Does she appear to be coming around? Can we talk with her?
Yeah, she's coming around. Her and her two sisters are just talking to each other softly, making sure they're okay inside the building.
Okay.
And actually, the other two dryads are kind of helping her up onto her feet and taking her outside back into the woods again.
What-
Because they have more power there.
What else is in here? Is it just the cages?
Yes. And blood stains and scratch marks. It seems like the animals are being held here and then dragged out.
Can we, before before the dryads leave with their sister, I'd like to ask her if she has any inkling as to how the creatures are being given the bloodlust.
She says, I don't think they're being given the bloodlust. I think they're feeding it.
Oh, oh, okay. So the bloodlust is a thing, not like a disease.
She doesn't seem to know. She kind of stares at you blankly.
Okay.
And then she says, I'm just a silver maple. I don't really expert on these things.
Thank
We're
you,
going to
and
go back down to
take care.
Polvarth. Thank you for your help, strangers.
I would like to take the hag out of the tree, throw in one of the cages, get my net back.
Nice. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And Ilka, do you just keep the heart? What do you do with it?
Oh yeah, that's mine. Go into my pocket.
Nice. Okay. It's almost like a piece of like black obsidian stone, slightly green tinged.
Was there any?
Uh,
Go ahead.
Do I feel anything from it? Any good or
Yeah,
bad
sort of
energy?
like cold menace, you know, like you'd
It
imagine
doesn't
a
like
hag
me.
heart to feel, but not like anything to like make you feel untoward. Just that general dark magic-y vibe.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to, as Scoot puts her in the cage, I'm going to let her know that if she can aid us in defeating Malar, she would get her heart back. Otherwise, it stays with me forever.
Okay. She just spits on you and says, "There's no way in my power I would do such a thing."
I say, bless your heart, and pat her on the head and walk away.
She says, "One day I will kill you all." And she just starts like spitting, vileness at you as you leave.
Was there any food that they were feeding the animals at all in there?
No. No.
Okay. All right.
All right. Say can barely
What-
contain
one-
herself. She
one
wants
more
to
thing.
work her way up towards the mountain.
One more thing before we go. These cages, like one side door, I'm assuming like all iron and then one side door.
Actually, no. They're all made of like a really thick wood.
Oh, okay.
It's a big old wooden bar.
And okay, so but there's one side that's designated a door, right?
Yes. Yep.
I want I want to reinforce the lock and then I want to tilt it so that the door is on the ground.
Okay.
Just after she starts spitting at us, I do that on top of it. So
Yeah, and it's just muffled.
yep, that's it. And then then I leave.
Okay. And you quickly lose any sense of the hag. Her yelling fades in the distance as the river itself, as you follow the river trail some more, swells and gets bigger and bigger. It's like 30, 40, 50 feet wide.
I like to fist bump one of the wolves and then we go.
Yeah. The alpha wolf is like gives you like a wolf nod.
Okay.
Paw bump. And you reach eventually the top of the mountain. You're not sure how much time has passed. Again, the lightning is getting more and more intense, but it feels like maybe like half a night. The sky's been getting darker and darker, and the moon's been getting fuller and fuller as you make your way up the hill. It's almost like that's been changing in relation to distance as opposed to like passing time. So as you get closer to the top, this becomes a more full scene, and the sky becomes cloudier and slightly red tinged. Eventually, you come upon the top of the mountain, and it's almost like a volcano caldera. Like it's this big crater. At the center of the crater is a huge ash tree, like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet high, like 3-4 times the size of Fëanor.
Wow.
And into the river are flowing 4 streams from each corner of this mountain. However, the one that you're walking up right now, the spring stream, is much bigger than the other 3 because it's springtime in the material plane. So there's a bunch of water flowing in from that side. However, down below, at the crook of the ash tree, at the center of the clearing, you see the body of a small human. You recognize with blonde hair, no hat. He's got a slight, really awful little pencil mustache. Honestly, it's terrible. It's not doing him any credit at all. But he seems to be unconscious, and he's just kind of resting in the crook of this ash tree. Around him, these 4 streams kind of come together in a big spiral pattern of water and land that circles around this tree before like draining down into the heart of it. And he's sitting on a little island kind of next to it. At the edge of this big spiral pool at the top of the mountain, there are 5 figures. You see 5 bestial humanoids, like part humanoid, part animal. Like 4 of them seem to be were-rats, and one at the center is a werewolf. And they're all busy eating. They're eating these piles of animal meat that are in front of them, and blood is running in thick gouts from these piles of meat into this swirling pond, and it's turning the water red, and the red is actually like trickling up the roots of this ash tree and turning the tree itself red in veins. And the lightning is getting more and more intense. The wolves are all stock still next to you. What do you do?
How far away from them are we?
You're maybe 400 feet away. There's a few trees in between you and them. It's mostly clear down there. As you take this in, suddenly from the far side of the clearing, you notice that walking across the water is a unicorn that you recognize as Lyrian, walking on top of the water, and it seems to be entranced. Like it's got this sort of like red light coming out of its eyes.
Uh-oh.
The moon above you is turning full as this is happening, and the unicorn is approaching the werewolf. The werewolf looks up from its blood frenzy as it's eating this meat, and it pulls from a pouch on its side this sort of ball of berries. You recognize them as ash berries. They're blood red. And as you look above you can see that the branches of this ash tree are festooned with these bright red berries. They're much more blood red than any ash berries have any right to be. And the werewolf holds out these berries to Lyrian, and Lyrian starts to eat them.
Overwhelmed by the sight of my hero and my companion for the last 2 months as well. Out of great concern for them, Zay yells for justice and begins running toward the pool, getting close enough within 120 feet to cast Moonbeam on the werewolf.
Nice. Okay. Everyone roll for initiative. Let's get into it.
Fucking dice. See you guys tomorrow.
I always forget, what's the plus to initiative?
Dex.
I know I have it written down somewhere. Dex.
Yep.
Thanks. 17.
6.
3.
That's 6 for Ilka.
Wow. And 3 for Scoot.
When do I get my initiative reroll? What level is that? 6?
Okay, but you have a surprise round, so you can all do one thing if you're just like charging in, because they're not aware of your presence. So you cast Moonbeam, and that's a dexterity save?
Con saving throw.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, sorry. No, let's see. That's for reverting. So, they are engulfed in ghostly flames of searing pain. 2d10 radiant damage. Well, I have reverts to original form if they if they fail their con saving throw.
Okay, and
So I think con.
Failed, so it
if
reverts to a human.
I was going to say, if they're ever not a werewolf, they would probably revert to whatever the other one is.
Nice. Then yeah, it reverts to this human that's just covered in blood and looking extremely wild-eyed, and he roars in anger as the unicorn eats the last of the berries.
Ugh.
Ilka and Scoot, do you guys want to do anything?
Oh, can I do the damage?
Oh yeah, roll the damage. Yeah, sorry.
Okay. 3, 2, 5.
5 damage.
Mm-hmm. Radiant damage.
Okay. And it seems amplified, like this moonbeam just like courses down from the moon itself above you as it's like full in the sky.
It's
so
a 5-foot
effective.
radius and a 40-foot high cylinder. So I don't know if it would have hit the tree, if that matters.
I don't think so. The tree's
Okay.
towering above. But yeah, I mean the stream of moonlight does trickle through the branches. It just doesn't like burn them.
Sure, good. That's a good sign.
Yeah. Yep. So Ilka and Scoot?
How close are the were beasts to each other?
They're all maybe like 20 feet apart.
Yeah.
In kind of a semicircle around the tree.
And one of them just turned back into a human?
Yes.
The werewolf?
The big bad one.
Big bad. All right, we're gonna dissonant whispers all over him and make him run away.
All right, so he makes a. I just did this.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Thank you.
Wisdom.
Does a 13 work?
He needs 13.
Then he succeeds.
Yeah. Then all he does is He'll have to use his reaction to run away, but he takes no damage.
Gotcha. Okay. So he's still very confused as he's being pelted by moonfire and chaotic magic.
Wait, no. I have that backwards. He takes half the damage. He does not have to run away.
Very good. So what's the damage? What's the damage?
11.
Wow.
3d6?
And half of that? So 6 damage?
6 of them. Yep.
Okay. All right. Scoot, what about you?
How far away?
These guys are maybe like 200 feet away from you.
I guess I'm just running up. 600 feet of
Charging.
movement.
Okay.
Or not 600, 60. 60.
Do you have bonus movement speed yet or not as a barbarian?
No, I'm maxed out at 30 right now with the boots.
Okay.
And I can't jump further than my movement speed.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, 60 feet of movement.
Okay, so you
And-
close almost half the distance. Ahead of you, the unicorn bows her head, and all of a sudden, a bright bolt of lightning comes down from the sky and strikes her itself.
No.
Lyrian is hit by this red beam, and the entire pool around Lark and the unicorn erupts in steam, and you lose all visibility of what's going on in there. Just poof, a giant cloud of steam rises up from it, like red light coming from an unknown source. At the same time, the 4 were-rats turn and start charging towards Scoot. I guess you're the closest, and so they get to within about 60 feet of you.
Okay. Works for me.
Yeah. Zay, what about you?
Guess I can stop looking up thrown weapon rules since I'm about to really get into it.
Close enough. They're within 60 feet of Scoot, but probably not within 60 feet of
It'd
me.
be like 90 feet, yeah, because you moved and cast a spell.
Okay. I can't get close enough. I move closer. Yeah, that's it. I run closer, 25 feet closer.
Full tilt, so that'd be like twice that.
I
So
don't.
you're about like 30, 40 feet away.
Yeah, and was I near Ilka at any point?
I would guess if both of you were moving in and you'd be near each other, yeah, you'd be like 5 feet away from each other.
Okay. So I'll reach out and offer guidance to her as I. So I guess kind of like grab her shoulder, like try to catch her eye for a moment, and then I just push forward, running toward Lyrian and Lark. Less so, maybe not even noticing really the rats.
Ah, okay, nice. So that takes us to the wolves. The wolves are charging at the rats full tilt, and they're overtaking the 3 of you. They move faster, and they're almost within melee range to the rats. And that's their turn. They're just charging full speed ahead. That takes us to Ilka again.
Neat. Now, since the rats are all charging at Scoot, are they closer together?
Yeah, they're maybe like 20 feet apart.
Damn.
Not close enough. Sorry.
Nah. I need them to like converge together as they're chasing him down so I can ruin all of their day all at once. How far am I from them?
You're about, what did I say? Like 50 feet away at this point? I'm losing track
Beautiful.
now. And Zay was just kind of pushing you towards the pond. That's all steamy right now.
Yeah, I'm going to throw Chill Touch on whatever is in the front, whichever rat is closest to Scoot.
I think you have to be touching them to do that, right? Or is that a ranged attack?
Got 120 feet on it.
Oh, okay, sweet. Right. That's a ghostly hand. That's right. It just kind of,
Yeah.
gets them. Gotcha.
Sends a spooky little hand over there, and it squiggles into their body and wraps around their heart and makes them think dead thoughts.
Nice. Make an attack roll.
17.
That is a big hit. And one of the rats immediately slows down as it's running.
And he takes 5 damage and cannot be healed for a turn.
All right, Scoot. Did you want to
Alright.
move any direction in particular, Ilka, or just cast the spell?
I'm trying to get closer to the tree and get up to Lark.
Okay. All right, so you're
So
maybe
I'm-
like 60 to 80 feet away from the water at this point.
Yeah, working on
I
it.
think I'm just making that up. I don't know.
All good.
Scoot.
All right. So how far am I away from where I last saw the werewolf?
Where you last saw the werewolf?
Yeah, because
Where it's now a person?
Yeah.
90 feet. I honestly, I'm super mixed up now. I just had these like 8 different entities running at each other, and now I can't remember.
yeah, I did. Yeah,
We'll say like 1 round of movement. About
a full round.
full round. Yeah.
A full round. Okay. And then where rats are closer?
Yeah. Yep. Slightly.
Can I get to them with just a straight movement?
You'd be about 20 feet away.
All right. I move 30 feet and guard.
Okay. Nice. So you just plant your feet and get ready.
I just want to make it harder for them to hit me before I get in there.
For sure.
I don't have much in the way of range, so.
It seems like the wolves are running ahead of you, so they're probably going to get hit first by the rats. Just as a heads up.
Yeah,
But
I can't get any further and still guard.
Yep. So at this point, the werewolf, who's now a human, charges out of the moonfire, assuming that it doesn't follow him. Zay, is that right?
The moonbeam, it does not. No.
Yeah. So he charges out of it, and screaming bloody murder and chanting Malar's name. He says like water into blood, earth into bones, and he's like wielding a giant great axe that he just happened to have when he moonbeamed back into a human. At this point, the steam starts to clear, and standing in the pool where Lyrian was, you see a figure as powerful and striking as Lyrian has ever been, but twisted with dark energy. There's this unicorn with black gossamer fur and like red tendrils of energy twirling around its black horn. This corrupted unicorn starts like stamping at the ground with her foot, and immediately charges at the nearest figure, which is the Wolfy Man, and tries to gore him with its horn, and hits.
Nice.
And the man immediately like ripples and shimmers in reality and turns into a wolf before your eyes, like a full-bodied wolf, and has like a red glow to its eyes, just like the unicorn does. And it kind of like stops and like looks to the unicorn for directions. And the unicorn, like, slows down and starts like cantering around to angle back towards the rat men. So that takes us to Zay.
Okay.
Zay's got feelings.
How close am I to Lyrian? You estimate?
Like 60 feet or so. She's coming towards you.
Okay, and then how far is she from the pool?
She's probably about 30 feet out. She just chased after the wolf guy and hit him.
So just putting this in your head, there's still a moonbeam out there, and you can move it in a turn. You can.
Oh yeah, that's what that last thing is.
Zay, the moonbeam.
You can use an action to move it up to 60
feet.
60
feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know that because I've won a D&D game. Not one, but
right.
finished the fight using that once.
Oh.
Yeah, so the Lark is maybe like 60 feet in at the center of the pool, and Lyrian's kind of the opposite direction.
Okay, to wild shape, does that take an action to change shape?
I think it's a bonus action. I don't remember.
I feel like it's a bonus action too, and I usually have this written down.
It is an action.
It's a full action. Okay. I run toward Lyrian. Can I get within 15 feet of her? Okay, before I do that, can I estimate, can I get within 15 feet of her?
We'll say yes. Yep.
Okay. I get within 15 feet of her, and I cast Thunder Wave. A wave of thunderous force sweeps out from me. Creatures within the cube will make a Constitution saving throw. My goal is to push her back 10 feet, among other things.
She fails her Constitution save, so.
Okay, so she is pushed back toward the pool 10 feet, and 2d8. Okay. 5 damage.
Okay.
Is the wolf man still near her? Would
Yes.
he also be? Okay. Can I also damage him?
Oh yeah. Yep. He fails too.
10.
10. All right. That wolf is looking very much worse for wear.
Okay.
And it bounces back towards the water as well.
Just away from me. I don't care. Like if I could aim it somehow.
Okay.
Back from me. So depending on, like, I tried to be like straight on with Lyrian, so she would be pushed back towards as I was running. So she'd be pushed back towards the pool. But then, yeah, wherever the other guy ends up is fine. I wasn't paying attention to him.
Yeah, so Lyrian gets bounced towards the water by the thunder, like boom, this huge burst of sonic energy, and the wolf just kind of bounces off in a random direction, away from the water a little bit.
Okay.
And that takes us to the rats. The rats are charging at the wolves and just tearing into them. So they each make their attacks. They're biting and clawing. 2 of the wolves go down. They just get torn apart by the rats, and the rats begin to like eat them as they run towards. They're just frenzied.
Not okay.
Yeah, they seem to be delighting in the carnage. And that takes us to, let's see, the wolves. The 2 wolves, the mama wolf and the 1 remaining wolf, fight back valiantly, and each miss.
Oh fuck.
Then the werewolf guy, I kind of messed up his initiative last round, but we'll have him go now. He kind of like turns rigor mortis, like a puppet almost, and then kind of starts like running around Lyrian towards you, Zay. And he leaps at you to attack you. And totally misses with a 7.
Hooray!
Yeah, you managed to duck under it or around it. Which takes us to Ilka.
Neat. So I'm at the water around.
Yeah, you're about at
cross
the water's
water, I'll
edge.
be at-
Yep.
How deep's the water?
Not very. It's only like a foot or 2 deep in these spirals around the center of the tree.
Oh, I'm gonna detect magic on the water.
Okay. It is indeed very, very magic. It seems like the water. Not that you can tell that much from a detect magic spell, but it seems like it'd be bad to drink it. It's obviously corrupted with some kind of, whatever energy powers Malar's magic has seeped into it. So I would call that, I guess, like transmutation magic. I don't know.
Touching it if I get it on my skin.
You don't think touching it would hurt you? Drinking it might be a bad idea.
Cool. I'm sprinting across the water then towards the island.
Okay. Okay, so you take your full movement. Roll acrobatics just to see if you don't like lose your footing with all the water. Otherwise, it would be difficult to find.
Yeah, that'll be fine. It's a 17 base and then sprightly.
Oh, hell yeah! So, like, how do you want to describe like your amazing leap across the pool?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna. You've all seen like a triple jump in like high school track and field, so I'm gonna pull off one of those right when I reach the edge of the water, and there's like water cascading up around me as I sprint forward, and it kind of trickles through the air, and then there's this like slow-mo as my hair just like swoosh across, and then I'm gonna do like a round off towards the end with like an Arabian dive roll as I land on the island.
Oh my god. So gratuitous. And you land right by Lark. It takes you all the way. Yeah. The momentum.
If he was conscious, he would have been so impressed.
Definitely. And you can see as you're closer that it seems like he's asleep almost. Like he's not necessarily like unconscious. He's just resting against this tree. And that takes us to Scoot.
All right. Sit rep around me. We got some rats and wolves.
You got four rat men tearing apart 2 wolves. And ahead of you, Zay is fighting the unicorn and another wolf. Meanwhile, Ilka just vaulted across the pond and is now standing next to Lark.
Oh god, that's a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I make it to Zay?
Yeah, we'll say yes at this point.
I'm finally within range?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to rage up, head on over there, and I've got my great axe, but I'm using a shield, so it's going to be 1d8, and then I got the +2 to my AC.
Okay.
So I'm going to just rage and take a big old reckless attack swing at the wolf.
Okay. Roll it.
All right, so I needed that. So that's going to be an 11 plus 5, so 16.
Yeah. How do you send off this wolf?
Probably cleaving it right down the spine through the torso.
Ooh.
Is what I'm thinking. Just like I'm splitting wood, but it kind of careens off to the side. Let's see.
Okay.
Technically, that would be 6 plus 3 plus 2, so 11 damage.
Yeah, that's well enough to finish it off.
Okay.
And so as you kill it and chop it like that, it turns back into a person again as it flies through the air. it kind of shimmers and ripples back into a human form, and the blood, some of it seeps into the water and it turns redder as it kind of drains in towards the tree.
Oh man, I didn't want to do that.
And the unicorn kind of glows with even more malicious energy.
All right. And for the record, since that was a reckless attack, melee attack rolls against me now have advantage for the next round.
Right. Speaking of, it's now the unicorn's turn, and
Neat.
it's squaring off with you, Scoot.
Excellent. That's what I
So
wanted.
it lowers its horn and charges directly at you. Let's see. Does a 19 hit you?
It does.
Okay. You are going to take 17 damage.
So have that to...
It's necrotic damage if that
9?
affects your rage.
It doesn't. To my,
Okay.
I have resistant to all damage except psychic.
Sweet. Then yeah.
So
Make a wisdom save, Scoot.
a wisdom save. That's right up my alley. 8.
8.
Wait, you know what? Hold up 1 second. I'm gonna use my lucky feat and give that another try.
Sick.
Before you said anything, I'm like, 8 doesn't seem like it's gonna be good. And I should have picked a different die because that is also 8.
Okay. Next to you, Zay, shimmering in the light, Scoot turns bodily into a wolf.
What?
All of his possessions like morph into his body, and he plopped down on the ground as a big old bushy wolf. Dolphin tattoo still kind of visible in his fur. However, his eyes are red, and he seems kind of under the sway of the unicorn as it canters back around to face you again, Zay.
Well, that ruins my plans.
Not mine. That was exactly what I was expecting to happen.
The rats attack the wolves. And one of the wolves goes down. Just the mama wolf is left at this point as the rats surround her. Let's see. That takes us to Ilka. Or, sorry, Zay. Zay, it's your turn.
Okay.
Save me.
How far away from me is Ilka?
She's about maybe like 40 feet away through the water.
Too far. Okay. I use wild shape to transform into a giant goat.
Sick.
And I run at Lyrian as fast and hard as I can with a ram attack. Try to push her back into the pool.
Okay.
It must succeed on a DC 13 strength saving throw.
It fails. 13? What would you say, 13?
13.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I'm trying to push her back towards
So that's is that the shove action, or is that like a goat thing?
Oh no. I misread it. I need to find a different creature. It knocks her prone. It doesn't shove.
I mean, we can kind of just like hand wave it and say that you're knocking her prone, and then in doing so, like you're pushing her. But the shove action is a separate maneuver from an attack.
Oh, well, can I just how do you shove? Cool. I want to do that.
I think it's
Yeah, you do contested athletics checks. So
Okay.
what's that? So in that case, I get to make a roll.
+5 to hit.
It's strength, I believe.
Yeah, strength athletics is the roll.
Okay.
You have to beat a 5.
Okay. So I have +5 to hit. Does that sound right? And I have
No.
to beat a 5?
It's
Whatever
not
your goat strength is.
It's not
Whatever
an
my
attack
goat
roll, is
strength
it?
is. My goat strength is 17.
So you have +3, and then whatever your athletics score is on top of that.
+4 plus my roll.
Yeah, you have your roll, your strength score, and then whatever your athletics is. It's an athletics check.
Okay. So
What did you roll? What was on the D20?
a 5.
Oh, yeah, then you're
You
fine.
win.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I totally
It was
expected
very
it to be
low. That's why I was like, oh.
like D&D a year later. Why do we even play? Okay.
Right.
Okay, so you succeed. So you shove the unicorn up to 5 feet away from you or knock it prone.
Okay, I want to shove it 5 feet back towards the lake.
The lake. Okay, so it's maybe like its back heels are just touching the water's edge right now, because it was just circling around from hitting Scoot, and so it's already very close to the water. So that takes us to Ilka.
Okay. I'm at Lark. I have the hat. If I put it on his head, does he wake up?
Yes, he does.
Ilka, you're awesome. You're dead too. I mean, no.
Lark! Okay, I'm no deader than I was before, which is complicated, but we're not going to get into that.
She looks really good,
Can you?
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
You look amazing.
Lark, I just vaulted to get here. You would have loved it. Also, we met Rowan Crooks, and he's real. Anyway, we're gonna go fight rat
What?
people. How do you feel?
How do I feel?
that's a lot to take in.
You feel awful right now. For the record, you feel like drained. Like you have -4 to all your ability scores
Can I heal him?
mechanically. No,
Fuck.
not unless you have a greater restoration spell.
No.
It's as if you just came back to life from being dead for a while. So
I feel terrible, but let's go.
Okay, been there, buddy.
Roll initiative, did you say?
yes,
I rolled it when everybody else did, and crit failed it. Would you like me to?
Right on brand. Welcome back,
Yeah.
buddy.
Oh, it makes sense. We had
same
no
die as last
initiative
time, huh?
then.
Would you like me to re-roll, or do
So
we
you got
just
a
go with that?
-3.
That. Ilka, did you want to do anything else, or just pop a hat on him and talk?
I can't heal him. Am I within 120 feet of anything?
Yeah, the whole commotion out beyond the pool.
Cool.
The unicorn and Zay are both like right on the edge of the pool. Scoot is a wolf and further out.
Oh, I suppose I just kind of abandoned them all and went to Lark. Like, oh, what's happening back there?
and Zay, you're a goat, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a goat, a wolf, and a unicorn sitting at the edge of the pool. And you recognize them vaguely as your friends.
Wait, but the unicorn is bad news now?
The unicorn is super bad news and looks like it. Yeah, it's like emanating red energy.
And the wolf
Cool.
is probably bad news.
The wolf is a
Yeah.
little bit bad news.
All right, I'm gonna dissonant whispers up on that unicorn and call it a cheap goth knockoff hornhead.
Jeez. The unicorn succeeds again. So it just takes half damage, right?
Yeah, d6 damage. 5.
Okay. And it looks like it slows down for just a split second and then kind of shakes its head and gets back to business. Scoot,
Yeah.
you are on the unicorn's team. What do you do?
Do I get to make a wisdom save or anything to try to fight this off?
No.
All right. I will try to knock down Zay.
Nice. Wolves are good at that.
I'm basically I'm trying to bite at one of her back paws.
Yeah, make an attack roll.
What do you want for this? I mean, as far as bonus.
Use your stats as if you were just attacking with your strength score and proficiency.
Oh, perfect. I got a 10. Total. That was with my +5 bonus. I rolled a 5.
Nice. So that's a miss then,
Yeah.
Zay? Right, I would assume.
Right on brand.
Sorry. He hit what?
I tried to bite you. I rolled a 10. Do you have an AC higher than 10?
11!
There it is.
So you jump over the wolf, Scoot's wolf bite as he lunges for your ankles and tries to trip you.
I'm just like a little like,
But you are kind of surrounded at this point as he closes in. So
yes.
bear that in mind.
I also let out a whimper.
Oh. Scoot, make a wisdom save.
Thank you. 15.
Okay. You succeed, but you are still a wolf. Your vision clears for a moment, and you can see that you just attacked your friend Zay. You were feeling like an intense sensation of bloodlust and just wanting to tear everything apart around you. That then takes us to Lark.
Lark!
You don't have any of your stuff, Lark.
You're naked and weak. Come save us.
You have some
You
clothes.
have your hat.
Yeah, and you have your hat.
Hey, who wrote up
Give
my
him the
hat?
knife. Give him the knife. I'm not there. I'm a goat.
Okay, wait. There's a unicorn and a goat and a wolf and some. I feel like this is a really bad version of Zremen Town Musicians, but it's not the it's not the strangest thing that I've seen here in the astral plane. Um,
Jesus.
um.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to bring Lark up to speed, sitting next to him.
In the 6 seconds of our turn.
Yep. I'm also gonna pull out that silver dagger and
Oh.
give it to Lark, so he at least has some weapon on his person.
It says crooks on it, Lark. And it's super sharp, so be careful.
Yeah. Don't put it
Don't
in your
hurt
belt,
yourself, kid.
especially if you're not wearing pants.
This is amazing. We've got to clarify the water.
How do we clarify it, Lark?
I don't know. If only I'd been given some purifying water by an ant-like creature at the base of the mountain, but I wasn't.
He's
I'm
got the
working on
wooden
it.
thing.
I have it. I'm trying to get to the water. I'm trying to.
Rush.
I think that's 6
I'm ru-
seconds. I don't know. It takes us to the unicorn. Unicorn's gonna it's gonna try to hit you with its hooves, Zay. So it smacks you twice as it like rears up on its back legs and tries to clobber you.
Okay.
So a 18 and a 10. So one of them hits you.
Okay.
And you take 18 damage, necrotic damage.
Oh, holy crap!
Slams into you and probably reverts you back into halfling form again. I assume goats don't have that much health.
I have a hit point left.
Oh, nice, great.
Yeah, it's a giant goat.
Right.
She
Sorry,
probably
that's
only
a
hit
giant
me in,
amount of
like, my knee.
Yeah. Okay. Very well. Then Zay, it's your turn. Actually, sorry, the rats, the rat men.
Okay.
Shit.
Yeah, they mob the last wolf. 1, 2. Yeah, and she goes down, sadly.
Aw.
Tear her apart. And turn towards you, Zay.
The ratman.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So then, Zay, it's your turn.
Okay, so I put my giant goat head down, ram's horns ahead of me, and I try to knock Lyrian back into the pool and like with a follow through so that I also land in the pool. That's the goal.
Copycat.
Roll athletics.
Oh, I got a crit. So 24.
That works.
No,
That's good
yeah.
because the unicorn got a 19. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Whoa.
So yeah, you shove her back into the water. She's all the way immersed in it, up to like her knees.
Okay, and I follow through. Am I in too?
Yeah, I guess if you want to step into it.
I do. Can I? Oh, or maybe I just stay right on the edge.
It's your call.
And then what I want to do next, you can tell me if I can do it in this amount of time. I want to revert back to Zay and pour the water into the pool.
We can call that a bonus action. Yeah, that works for me.
Okay, that's my goal, is to do that with Lyrian in the water.
Yeah, so bam, you ram into her, and then like kind of as you follow through with the motion, you turn back into a halfling, and you're uncorking the bottle as you shapeshift. And then you manage to pour it into the water. And another bolt of lightning. This time it's a brilliant white, comes down from the moon itself, and as the water touches the pool, and strikes Lyrian, and she becomes effused with light.
Saloon.
Yeah, and mist kind of fills the pool again. It's a much more tranquil mist though, not like this big puff of steam like last time. And the rat men flee immediately as Lyrian reverts back over the course of a few seconds into her unicorny self, and kind of like stumbles down onto one knee to catch her breath.
Yay!
And Scoot?
And Scoot as well. Scoot, yeah, you turn back into an half-orc again, yes.
I was going to sprint to the moonbeam.
You're on all fours next to Zay. Yeah.
Whoa, Zay and Scoot, you're dead too. We can get the band back together.
Can Lark walk?
Yeah.
I can hobble.
Didn't know if we had to carry him.
No, he's good.
Okay, I'm gonna help him up. And are we out of initiative?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna help him up and start walking towards the unicorn and the others while telling Lark about the elaborate funeral that we held for him.
It's really hard for Ilka to walk because Lark won't stop hugging her.
Oh,
Seeing Lyrian restored and seeing Lark hobbling towards her is just like, and after all of the high energy and transforming and everything is just so much for Zay, she just like collapses and then starts happy crying. Just like normally she would run towards him, but she just doesn't. She can't even. She's just happy crying, like almost prone, just like all of her energy gone.
Lark is group hugging everyone as soon as they're close enough.
What about Scoot?
Yeah, same thing.
Okay. As soon as you all
Scoot,
like clasp
Scoot,
arms,
you've got a tattoo on your face now. That's amazing.
Yeah, I like this one. It's real sweet.
the dolphin is cavorting like crazy right now. But as soon as you all clasp arms, a magical energy starts to emanate from the hat on your head, Lark, and swirl around the four of you. And you feel a tugging sensation, like your heart is being pulled out of your chest, kind of all in the same direction. And Lyrian kind of turns around to the four of you with a sort of look of amazement and surprise and says, I'll find you. Be safe. Thank you. As the four of you are pulled out of this plane of existence through a wormhole in space and time, you're surrounded by dark shades and flickers of different dimensions, and kind of in a big old pile. Actually, roll acrobatics, everyone. One more time. Good.
That's my shitty die.
Do I still have a -4 on all my stats?
Yes.
16.
Actually, Lark, you don't have to. Sorry, you do not have to.
11.
17.
19 then.
11, 17, and
19 for Lark.
16 for Ilka.
16? Okay, thank you. Okay, so actually, the three of you, Scoot, Zay, and Ilka, all land on your feet. Like you're well experienced at jumping out of portals at this point, as it dumps you into the cellar of the short rest again. However, Lark is not with you, but the hat is talking to you in your heads.
What the hell?
Yes,
Lark, you are a hat. You are in a
it
hat.
worked. It worked. We got him inside the hat. This is his soul.
What
I'm so excited. I honestly didn't expect it to work. So Ilka is just ecstatic and also fascinated that the magic worked this way and that Lark's soul is living inside the hat.
Awesome!
Twin Portals is produced and edited by Scott Hebert. The adventure is created by our Dungeon Master Matthias Valero, and the rest of the Silver Waves of Justice are played by Kendra Carlson, Beth Brophy, and Justin Peck. If you're looking for some more podcasts to enjoy, give a follow to our friends at Horror Rewind, Superior Adventurers Guild, and Take It With You. Scott Hebert is a fiscal year 2021 recipient of a Creative Support for Individuals grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board. This activity is made possible by the voters of Minnesota through a grant from the Minnesota State Arts Board thanks to a legislative appropriation from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Previous support was made possible by the Arrowhead Regional Arts Council, and my sincerest thanks to those two boards for their support. Thank you to Leeland Campana for use of his song Avernum as our theme song. Thank you to the Renegade Theater Company, Teatro Ciccone, and Mary Fox for their support. We hope to see you in person there again very soon. And most of all, thank you so much for listening to Twin Portals.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if this was another dream sequence.
No, it's the real McCoy.
I was wondering too, like if we were somehow in Lark's fantasy, like things were made up of things that would be in his head.
Hmm.
Like the hag is there and Rowan Crooks is there and
Ooh, do I still have the heart in my pocket?
You do.
Yes.
That's going to lead us to more trouble than the unicorn.
Yeah, probably. He wants that back.